Keeping in with Marvel stuff, let's talk about Captain Marvel. And I don't mean Shazam, but I do also mean Shazam, actually. Because Shazam looks so much
bring
better
it up eventually.
than from what I've seen of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
They got to bring back the real Captain Marvel. Call him Captain Thunder. That's a good name. It's a good-ass name.
Okay, so you want to start with Captain Marvel or Shazam?
Well, I guess Captain Marvel, I'll just say, I don't even get the tagline. Higher, further, faster, or did they say farther? I don't know which. But
higher, farther, faster, higher.
They built
No, I mean, the marketing...
But,
so, I want to say the marketing for this thing has just been terrible. Like, it's a Marvel movie. I'm going to see it no matter what. But it's just, like, the marketing has actively made me roll my eyes every time I've seen it. You know?
I think the most eye-rolling thing is when it says they need her, a hero.
Yeah, they're just pushing like the whole feminist thing so heavily. Like they're trying to make their own Wonder Woman and just failing miserably.
It really seems like they're trying to make it like the Marvel.
They're
Wonder
trying
Woman.
to cash in on that whole movement. Yeah. So I'm anxious to see what they do with her. Apparently, like so. I shouldn't say. Well, I do want to see it. It's going to probably be the first look we get at what's going to happen in Endgame prior to Endgame actually coming.
I'll just wait for Endgame. I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to say, "Oh, she's the most powerful. She's the best. We need her now." And then she comes, "Zoom! Take this, Thanos. You're defeated." Haha.
Yeah. So I mean, we do know a few things about why they're making the "she's the most powerful" claim. So I do want to play devil's advocate here and actually try to make the claim that she is the most powerful, based on the limited knowledge we have. So based on some of the things we've seen, like she is capable of surviving in space. She has these wickedly powerful photon blasters. She is a trained warrior from this warrior race. She's physically stronger than pretty much any character we're seeing aside from like the actual like strong ones.
Remind me again, what is she a part of? Because I know it's not the Nova Corps, which I would have rather
She's a Kree. She's a Kree. So she's... At least this version of Captain Marvel is half Kree, half human, and it's like we're sort of gathering from the plot that she was a human who was abducted and injected with Kree DNA.
Well, like, what is this Kree thing? Are they a police force or a Green Lantern thing? Or?
No, they're their own race. Like, I'm trying to think of what the other sort of comparison is. Like, if you remember Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy, he's a member of the Blue Kree, which are like the minority, but they believe they're inherently superior and they're sort of the ruling class, but they're also, they're the main sort of what you think of when you think of the Kree. But there's also a lot of white Kree, which are, more humanoid in appearance.
I see.
So it's a pretty well-known race, and the Skrull are like sort of the counterpart for them. The Skrull famously are the shapeshifters, sort of like an ongoing alien antagonist to the Avengers in the comics. So the reason why people are making the claim that Captain Marvel is the strongest, so aside from the abilities I already mentioned...
Well, people aren't making the claim.
Actually,
the trailer is,
yeah,
essentially.
So the actual male version of Captain Marvel, Mar-Vell, who was the Captain Marvel for the longest time in the comics prior to like the female Captain Marvel.
Then there was his son,
adapting
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So he's one of like a handful of characters that actually killed Thanos in the comics. So I think people are making that connection. Beyond that, we know from a leaked interview with Sam Jackson that Captain Marvel has the ability to time travel. We're not sure exactly how this ability came about or if it's part of her natural thing or if she has... Like, people are saying she has some seventh Infinity Stone that gives her that ability, which I think is a pretty ludicrous theory, but... we'll see. So people are sort of thinking maybe that's her whole connection. She has just a fuck ton of powers,
So they're basically just building her up to be the ace in the hole for when they do the rematch in Endgame.
Right.
I see.
Yeah.
I seem to remember...
Well, she's probably...
I don't know for sure, but just based on...
Right.
How should I say? An account of what someone told me about the comics version of the Infinity... What was it called in comics? Now I'm not even remembering.
Infinity Gauntlet. I was actually just about to ask if you had read that because
that Silver Surfer was the one who came in with the Deus Ex Machina. I could be wrong.
Well, Silver Surfer is one of the main ones in that he sort of he like understand. He's basically like what. Okay, so you know how in the very beginning of Infinity War, the Hulk comes crashing through the Sanctum Sanctorum and warns everyone. Yeah. So that actually directly mirrors a scene from Infinity Gauntlet, from like one of the beginnings of Infinity Gauntlet, where Silver Surfer crashes into the Sanctum Sanctorum and warns them that Thanos is coming and that he already has the Infinity Gauntlet. And at that point, it's too late because he already snaps life out of existence.
So Silver Surfer was essentially the Paul Revere of Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, basically. Thanos is coming. The Thanos is coming. But no, so Adam Warlock is sort of like the main... like he's the Thanos killer, right? Like not literally because he doesn't actually kill him, but he's the one creature that's like strong enough to actually stop him. He's like the leader of the Avengers and the Marvel like resistance against Thanos in that story arc and numerous other story
Didn't
arcs.
he get a mention at the end of Guardians too?
He did. So
Ooh.
People are wondering why the hell they didn't just like include him and actually bring him out so like he could be the main character in this one.
Well, it's not his turn; it's her turn. Gotta tell you.
Yeah, I think, I mean, part of that is because, like, there is a religious element there. Like, there's a lot of Jesus comparisons there, like, between, because Adam Warlock does come back from the dead. Like, he's basically invincible. He's basically a god. So, I think people just wanted to get rid of the whole religious imagery that Adam Warlock sort of presented. Hmm. Yeah, at least that's my initial theory. That's sort of my reading of Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. Well, aside from that, my unenthusiasm from Captain Marvel stems from just the whole look of it. Like, her powers, what are her powers? She shoots beams all over the place. Okay. Yeah. Slightly boring. Like, okay, people used to say Superman's boring because he could do everything. Well, now, she does everything, and this is not supposed to be boring now?
No, I fully
agree. Okay, I accept the boring claims. And now it's like we're supposed to be excited for this. She looks bored in all the trailers, which I hear is supposed to be some allusion to her being raised with no emotion. But
so that's apparently a like Kree thing. Like they're raised to be non-emotional, but I don't know. Like,
but that doesn't help.
I'm kind of questioning what they're doing.
I don't know. Just something about her face structure. It doesn't look good.
She has like no expression the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which I have to give her the benefit of the doubt and just sort of assume that that's what she's going for. Like, I mean, Brie Larson is an Academy Award nominated actress. She's been fantastic in pretty much everything I've seen.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an explanation.
I have to assume that's just a creative choice.
It just doesn't come across as very appealing. But you know what does come across as appealing? Shazam, because he's literally a kid, and so the whole time he's just smiling and taking everything lighthearted. And
it's big, all grown
DC
up.
claims to be every single movie is a course correction, right? It's like, oh, this is gonna be lighthearted. Right. This is gonna have jokes. Well, Shazam is meant to be lighthearted and have jokes,
right? So, Aquaman actually sort of had that vibe too. So, this isn't just coming out of nowhere. Like, they're definitely sort of building into a more lighthearted DC universe.
But Billy Batson isn't some foretold king who's going to bring balance to the oceanic force. He's just, hey, kid.
No, he's just a kid.
You are worthy of this power. Boom. Okay, now do something good. Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, it does look actually really cool so far. I honestly don't think there's too much to say that hasn't already been said. Just, like from what we've been getting from the initial trailers. It just looks like a lot of fun. I've been pretty anxious for the whole thing since I saw the first trailer.
Oh, and very good thing for me, like I said before, I'm a bit of a snob now. I like to see practical effects on the screen. You know why? Because I feel like when there's something that's actually physically put there, it's more endearing in a way. It wasn't generated by a bunch of dudes sitting in a air-conditioned laboratory. Someone thought about, how do we get this on the screen and how do we film it? Like, old times. I like old stuff. Old is good, new is bad. But anyway, I'm sure there's CG in the movie, but there's not too much CG in the trailers, which I like. Not everyone's hair isn't flowing around majestically for the duration.
Right.
So yeah, I to reiterate something we probably said when we covered Comic-Con, still excited for Shazam.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.